Hello, everybody. This is your girl, Lady She, of Hot Mic with Lady She podcast. I'm your host, Miss Shanice LeBird. I am super excited about today, not just because it's my birthday, go me, but because I have someone. My guest today is special because I reached out to a certain group on Facebook. For all of you who do not know, there's a group called Black Long Island for New Yorkers that live in a suburb, so-called suburbs. We got some real hoods out there, but in this particular group, it's called Black Long Island. Shout out to the Moss couple. It is, I think the husband's name is John. Let me not even get to mess up people's name because it's a pet peeve of mine. I can't remember his first name right now, but it's a husband and wife who started this group called Black Long Island, where Black entrepreneurs, whatever's going on in the Black community, they are able to share. We find our doctors, we find professionals, we find people starting businesses, our children, whatever's going on. And they also update us on the great things that we do that don't make the media and don't make the news. You know, all the bad stuff usually make the news. So this particular platform has been awesome. I have another business as well, and I've been referred through that particular engine, which is great. So that's how that works. I asked a question. I said I wanted to interview a counselor, African American counselor, in particular about mental health, or who would be interested in being transparent about, the atmosphere of the Black community when it comes to mental health. And shout out to Diamond of Diamonds Touch Beauty Spa in Valley Stream, Long Island. She actually tagged this young lady, and I was like, okay, cool. And I hit her up, and she responded, and that's how professionals operate. Somebody hit you up, you actually respond. So thank you for that. So tonight, we will be coming to you, presenting to some and introducing to others, Miss Renet'e Washington, Professor Renet'e Washington, excuse me. Thank you so much for coming on. I had to make sure I got her name right because first of all, it's gorgeous. I love the how it sounds, so I just want to make sure I got her name right. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. First of all, her energy is just dope. So that made it even better. I knew I was gonna trust Diamond anyway. I know she wasn't gonna send me no riffraff, no nonsense. But just even talking to her in the short time, I'm like, oh, she about to be like, what's up? This is what I do. Let's go. And I'm all here for it. It's hot mic for a reason. So, you can start off, tell us where you're from, a little bit about yourself.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. I'm a country girl, so let's start there. Originally from Sumter, South Carolina. Went to school there, grew up there, was blessed to be in that environment. Because you get to see a lot, I think, when you're from the South, that a lot of people in other areas possibly don't experience.
Like what? Because I'm so
the racism.
Got you. Okay.
The struggle for a lot of people to be able to propel and move forward. And then it's the camaraderie of where you're from. Even though you're from the hood, good things come out of the hood.
That's a fact.
Good things come out of the hood. And there's love there. You know what I mean? It may not come in the traditional forms that people are used to seeing, in a sense of hugs and kisses and I love you, things of that nature. A lot of it is honestly, it's just built on action, in your word.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's what it is. And so I think a lot of people, when they think about us being in the South, they unfortunately characterize us as not being as intelligent, not being with it. You know what I mean? But I'm here solid to let you know, like, that is not the case.
You better say that.
We're very intelligent. We're very adventurous. We're very about propelling and growing and being our best. So it's a lot of good things that come from the South. I can go on about the South.
Absolutely. The dirty dirt. Absolutely. Well, I'm from New York, but I must say, I agree with everything she said. I still have family that lives here. I visit here often. I'm always in Atlanta, but North Carolina, Alabama, I have family. I was just talking to my uncle who lives in Alabama. So all that, what she talking about, I guess I've never been privy to that, and I'm glad because I've never had no thoughts about, the only thing with the South for me and just growing up was it was quieter. That's about definitely. It. That's it. Besides New York, like other than that,
busy.
Right.
Be a little
they say like fast. They say that we're more fast paced. So that's other than that. I'm like, people is people, child.
Oh no, I
That's
agree.
it. People's
I can
people.
get it in wherever.
Yeah. So now you said showing love through action. Like, what does that look like to you?
Showing love through action is like showing up, being
Yes,
supportive,
showing
just
up.
showing up, being supportive, even if you don't have anything that you per se physically can contribute to what's happening. Just a presence sometimes is all people need. You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
need you to always say something. I don't really always need you to do something, but me just knowing when I look back, I see you. I'm good.
Mm, I love that. I absolutely love that. So, tell us a little bit, go into depth about your childhood because, everybody don't just wake up and be like, I want to be a counselor. You have to have a heart for that thing. So,
Yeah,
what was, Renate's childhood like when she started, as she got older, she's like, I want to be able to talk to people and help people, get out their feelings so they can feel better. Like, what was that?
that was never part of my life.
Oh,
No, for real. When I was younger, I was going to be an attorney, like for real. Like
oh,
that was the goal, to be an attorney.
but it's still kind of
Because I want to chase dollars. You live a
money.
certain
Gotcha.
lifestyle. Your mindset tells you that, hey,
Right.
in order to make money, I need to do
Right.
great things. So I always wanted to be an attorney, like just straight up for real. And then this is the comical piece. I wanted to be an attorney so I could be an attorney for the people in the hood who were getting in trouble because they don't know
Say
the
it.
struggle. They don't know our struggle.
Yeah.
So that really was my forethought
Yeah. Yeah.
initially.
Yeah.
And that was my goal. The whole thing in school was to make good grades, get scholarships, and then move forward and do that. But as you see, my life didn't go that path for real. The grades, for sure. I did that. I'm a beast.
Austin. Awesome.
I'm in
Awesome.
the hood, but
Awesome.
I'm still smart. I'm a beast. And so
Right.
that's why being an attorney just made sense to me. But what happened is that my junior year, the summer before my senior year, I got pregnant with my older daughter.
Okay.
So now here I am, you know what I mean? And having to hear people label me as, teenage mom, you're not going to be successful. This is not going to work. This is not going to happen. And you do sort of feed into that.
Yeah.
And I did that for real because then I looked at my ancestry. My aunts all had kids. They were teenage parents and things. So
were they?
Yeah. So you start
So
to
generational.
most definitely.
Wow.
So the thing for me was though that wasn't going to stop me.
Say it.
This is not a hindrance. I just got to figure out a different way now.
That's the one. Figure out a different way.
Yeah, and so that's what it became for me. But still, being in my environment, I really did become a part of the environment, like 100. So I tell people the truth about my life. I was a single teen mom trying to figure it out, working jobs, having people who stopped believing in me.
Yeah.
They stopped believing in me because I had a kid. And so that did throw me off a little bit. And I cycled because I fed into what was said and things that I hear on the news, things that I see in my own community. And I fed into it. And I cycled for, I would say at least honestly like 9 years.
Wow.
And trying
almost
to figure
a decade.
out what to do. But in that whole cycle, I'm still having kids. You know what I'm saying? So now the goal becomes we gotta survive. So then I joined that. I joined that cycle of not living to live and be happy and loving. I'm surviving.
Got you.
And I would see good things about people that I went to school with who, to me, did what they were supposed to do, and I was like, they did it. You know what I mean? And so I was happy for them for real. But still, there's still that piece of you that feels disappointed. So I cycled a long time because I was just disappointed in myself. I was embarrassed, really.
So you battled.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. And these are the things that you don't share. You know what I mean? And then on the outside,
we here to help somebody, honey. We here to help somebody.
On the outside looking in, people see that well, yeah, she's a single mom, but she's working, she's taking care of her kids. Things look
so she must be
good
okay
on the outside. So she gotta be. You know what I mean? And I let people have whatever narrative that they needed. For real.
I love that one.
What
do you,
honey?
You know
what I mean? Yeah. Whatever narrative you use it, I'm good. You know what I mean? And so I don't front to anybody. I got into trouble, smoking marijuana, drinking, partying, not even knowing that was a part of depression.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Your outlet, like your outlet.
Didn't even have a title for it. I'm just, in my mind, I'm just doing what everybody else kind of is doing. Right. This is how people deal with environment, being hurt. This is how people deal with feeling lonely. This is what it is. And so I cycled in that for a long time. And I would start college, stop, because I got to work. Right. What becomes important? Survival. I need to pay rent. I got to pay bills. I got to get clothes for kids. So I know this can help me, but right now it's not feasible.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just trying to figure it out and do what I needed to do. And so I tell people all the time, I didn't go back to college until I was 28 years of age, like 28.
But she
and,
went.
and I'm 45 sitting here
Hello.
currently. You know what I mean? I didn't go back to school until I was 28. But
Never too late, guys.
I did have a professor who got with me, real talk. Like, my name is Renet'e, and then my professor's name was Renee. And she got with me, a black chick from New York. She got with me, and she told me the truth, something that I felt like a lot of people had not told me. You know what I mean? And she said, "You're your own worst enemy."
Come on,
you
Renee.
Be great, but you're your own worst enemy.
Right.
And so, of course, still that little person in me, like, who you
like,
talking
excuse
to?
Me?
Like, you got a lot of nerve, like,
right.
And not even appreciating what that was in that moment.
She was trying to push you.
Yeah, so it took me about 2 weeks to gather myself, really, because she put my feelings really in the dirt. So it took me about 2 weeks before I came back to class, and I came back to class as humble as I could be, and I was like, "Hey, what do you mean? Right. What do you mean?"
I love that. I love that you went back. You know you were in your feelings about it at first, but then you said something like, "Let me get some clarity on what she meant," because it did something. It made you feel different.
Yeah.
To where you were like, "Let me go back and see and find out, like, is this lady actually trying to hurt me, or is she trying to push me?" I love that you said that.
For real. So that's really what took place in my life. And like I said, I was on track to be an attorney. I was taking criminal justice and stuff. And then what happened is I had got in trouble in like 2000 or whatever. And so what took place was that I found out, because I had gotten in trouble, I could no longer be on the track to being an attorney. And so now.
So what was like the details of that, though? The issue, what you did, had it to where you could no longer explain that part.
That's what they said to me. Because
this is the college saying this.
Yeah, because I had a criminal record, and they were saying like, "Hey, well, with that, you really can't be an attorney, and you can't stay in this course because there are certain
the criteria,
background checks, and different things that you would have to pass in order to move forward." So I'm like,
so it wasn't even an option where at a certain amount of years or time, because I know, and I'm just saying this because I'm a correction officer, and we have different people go through different things where they end up still being okay depending on their charge, like getting expunged.
Yeah, I ended up being okay and getting everything was gone, merely just because people don't do their paperwork right. You know what I mean? It wasn't even that. It should have even had still been on there. It should have been gone, because I had never been in trouble before or anything.
Right.
But again, being from the South, what do they care about me trying to get myself straight? Together. Because for most people, once you violate and you get in trouble, they don't see rehabilitation. They don't see redemption. They don't see that. Yeah, I made a mistake. Like, literally, that's really what it was. Right. And so it just made me go back again. Okay, now I got to regroup, not give up, but I got to regroup. I got to change my plan. I have to figure out what's the next move.
She didn't accept no. She's like, I'm gonna go another route.
Nah, I had already put too much work in at that point to let somebody tell me no.
Right.
Now that's the real of it.
I know that's a fact.
Too much work. I had already made a promise to myself. I made a promise to make a better life for my kids and for myself, and to do things differently and be more positive, so that positive things could start back happening.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't give up.
Literally,
I could not give up.
Right.
I had already given up in so many situations, and that's how I ended up in a lot of those situations, because I gave up. I didn't care. I didn't investigate. I didn't ask questions. I didn't follow up.
So growing up, do you feel that, let me ask you this first, because you'll have different scenarios of kids that, with teen moms. Some of them are like, my mother was very supportive. Like, my mother she would shut people down. And then you have the other one that like, my mother actually kicked me out. So I had to figure it out. So what was that for you with your parents? Because I know you kept saying people. You kept people had something to say. People, what was your parents
in
saying?
The community, they are going to talk about you. Right. You know what I mean? And sometimes your family going to talk about you worse.
Oh, that's the facts.
I mean? but I will be honest and say, I thank God every day for the type of grandparents that I had. And I say had because they're both deceased. But still in my heart for sure.
Grandparents' love is different, man.
Yes, abundant.
It's different. I mean, we love our parents, but something about grandma and pop, man. Abundant. Their love is different.
Abundant.
Wow.
And so they never gave up on me. They never really changed how they viewed me. Honestly, my stepdad, unfortunately, no longer here. Never gave up on me. Never not believed in me. With me and my mom, I know as I see her at 45, you know what I mean? She was hurt.
Yeah.
She was disappointed
Yeah.
herself.
Yeah.
She was trying to figure out like
How?
how, you know what I mean? And so my thing is what I teach people when I talk about feelings. What she showed outwardly was anger, but internally, I know that was hurt. I know that was disappointment. I know that was fear.
Yeah.
I know that was
A
I don't
baby
want my child to
girl.
struggle how I struggled as
Yes,
a single mom.
absolutely.
I know that now. So initially, nah, she wasn't happy. And then me, straight up, I don't think I ever told many people this. I wrote my mother a letter. Literally, I wrote her a letter like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." I folded that thing up and I gave it to her because I didn't even know how to even say
She's
it.
like, I don't know how to do this thing.
Yeah, because I'm thinking if I say it out loud, that means that's real.
Right.
You know
that
what I'm
make
saying?
it what it is. Wow.
Like for real, so I wrote her a letter like, I'm pregnant.
Like whenever you get this, it's a little something on your desk. Thank
Like,
you.
Yeah,
Wow.
for real. But I will say, she made sure I was still like G'd up in that senior year. I still went to school. I was fresh. I looked good. My hair was done. You know what I mean? She went with me to doctor's appointments.
Awesome.
She told me straight up in my face, like, you will graduate.
Say that, Mom.
Like,
Say
is
that.
what it is, but you will graduate.
She's like, I know they talking junk about you, but you gonna get this diploma.
For sure.
Yes, Mom.
And that's what it was. And
Love
I have
it.
to say, when I had my daughter, she was the first like great grand, and so my family attacked.
Absolutely.
Like my grandparents would watch her, my mom,
that support
my,
system,
my aunt and my uncle. They're both deceased. They pretty much really became surrogate parents. Like they watched her for me to go to school.
Love it.
And so I was surrounded by support, and I think too somewhat it really kind of like hindered me a little bit because I was like, well, this is not that bad. This is not that hard.
I got you.
I had so much support.
Right.
But
so do you think? I'm sorry to cut you off. So do you think like that's what made it kind of easier? Where you was like, oh, I can have another one.
Pretty much. I'm going to put that out.
She keeping it real. Like, listen, okay, they helping me out. I'm good.
You know, it wasn't like sometimes when I hear people say like their parents are like, yo, we're gonna help you, but this is like
right. This is you.
I really didn't have that. My family swarmed this.
They like this our child.
Yes, Lord. My grandfather would walk her around, take her to the store.
I love
kind
it.
of stuff. It's almost like, well, can I get my kid?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like I'm coming by Tuesday.
For real. And so still being young, I'm still trying to work, trying to go to school.
Find yourself.
Trying to party. Like it was different. Like for real. And so, like I said, therapy for me was never where I wanted to be because that never was like my forethought growing up or anything. Honestly, how therapy came to me is because I was working at that time at the Red Cross and I was doing substance abuse, like inpatient, whatever, as an intern. And I'm just like trying stuff out. And I'm like, yo, this is pretty cool here to get people to process and to think. But then getting them to do that was helping me. Yeah. At the same time.
Come on, you got to pay attention.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not that bad to really share what you're thinking, what you're feeling with somebody who can't tell anybody.
Word.
Like you can say some stuff in here
that's
that
the
you've
one.
never said to anybody but
the
God.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And that's if you believe in God. You know, other than that, like there was a lot of shit I said to nobody but God. You know what I mean?
Say it.
But now in this room, I can do that.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it is.
It feels safe. Safe.
And that's how I even got on to that. Because even with being in college, at 28, my goal really was to be working in somebody's hospital.
Right. But wait, doing what?
I wanted to be like a social worker in a hospital setting.
Oh, social worker. Got you.
Yeah, I was like, I can do that. But yeah, that wasn't the point either.
But so now, okay, so you're in school. Like you said, you was like, I was a beast. I was doing it. Grades, that was light for you. You end up getting pregnant. Everybody around you's talking about you. Your family's supporting you. But now you just kind of doing you. Like, okay, well, they handling the baby. I'm doing what I'm doing. Going to school, whatever. Smoking, whatever I'm doing. Have another baby. And now you're like, okay, I got to get myself together. Let me start going to college. You're still trying to figure out who you want to be or what you want to do. And then you like social work. So now how did you kind of narrow it down to know which area you wanted to go into?
And let me be clear with these people. I was 3 kids in before I even started thinking, like, let me get my life together. 3 kids in. Okay, hear me clearly. 3 kids in.
And what's the age difference? difference.
Oh my God, all my
You got
kids
stair
are
step?
my oldest two. One she'll be 28 coming up in this April. My middle daughter, she just turned 26 this month.
So 2 years. Okay.
Yeah, and then my son is only 23.
So 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I'm stair stepping them. And
She's like, come on, family, do what y'all did last time.
girl, they didn't.
This is late.
Oh, they didn't. The first one was like, here you go.
Renet'e.
That second one was like, oh yeah, you on your own. You tripping out here in these streets. Straight up. And I was like, okay.
She's like, okay, all right.
Okay, so I'll wing it. I'll figure it out.
Nah, wing it, child.
I was on a wing. I was winging it.
I was on the wing.
And figuring it out. And so, and I don't front to people about that. When you are, and I'm not saying this is for all single parents by any means. I can only speak from my experience of what I experienced and what I put myself in, because I'm going to always be accountable. What I did to myself. I put myself in a position where I had to work a lot, so I wasn't home a lot. Now I'm trying to go to school to better myself for them, so that I can better their lives.
Have more options.
Still missing. You see what I'm saying? So I'm still missing a lot, and not being able to fully 100% be hands-on and be where they need to be at. But I'm striving, and I'm showing up at places, and I'm taking them to stuff, and I'm doing all these things. And it's a lot to try to juggle.
Right. Thank you for saying it. It is a lot to try to juggle.
So I don't take that lightly. Even when I meet single dads, I tell them, hey, single is single.
That's a fact. I
mean? When you out here, so it's a lot to juggle, and it causes a lot of things. And let me be clear, guys. Just because somebody says they're seeking out mental health doesn't mean they have a mental health diagnosis. Let's be clear. Everybody who comes to me does not have a mental health diagnosis. I am not the type of therapist who is creating diagnoses
just because.
It's not that serious for me. I'm here for a mission.
Say that.
For real. Like, I didn't get into therapy because I experienced all these things, and so I can relate to you. My journey was my journey.
Right.
I do therapy, honestly, because I get excited when I see that light bulb turn on and that aha. That means somebody's figured something out. They now can problem solve on their own, which is going to make them self-sufficient, because now I can think through this process versus reacting out of anger because I feel hurt, or reacting out of rage because somebody is not giving me the respect that I feel I deserve, or I'm giving out love and I'm not being reciprocated with that. So
come on, Renet'e.
So I'm in therapy to help people get with themselves. I want you to be self-sufficient. I want you to figure out what's happening. I want you to be able to think. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Because if my emotions are here, logic is over there.
That's a fact.
So if I can teach you how to calm yourself enough to be logical and how you respond, a lot of things that exist won't be as bad, like, for real.
Do you think in the black community, do you think therapy is now becoming a thing?
It's getting there. I know a lot of people, because they see it on social media, think like, oh, it's black therapists, and it's getting there.
Right.
I'm excited that it's getting there. I'm excited that more people are talking about it. I'm excited that more people are being open and accepting to the fact that, okay, I've been trying to work this out, and it's really not working. So now what do I do? Hey, we're here. We exist. We're out here. I think it makes a difference for some people to see somebody who looks like me. I'm not going to say that they can't get help from somebody who doesn't, but for a lot of people, they want to see people.
They want to be relatable.
Who look like them, and I think that's okay. You know what I mean? I'm going to see whoever slide through my door. That's just me.
I'll say that.
That's just me.
Now, let me ask this. We mentioned the generational, do you feel that in our community, not having therapy and having that, being taught that what goes on in my house stays in my house attitude and those kind of things, do you think that is what breeds, almost seems like it breeds the generational curses, where we repeat the same thing subconsciously? Like, it just happens. Like, you had to find out that your auntie had a baby when she was a teenager. You understand what I'm saying? So do you think not having the therapy, not having those hard conversations is why the generational curses continue?
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, conversations don't happen because if I open up about certain conversations, like I said to you before, for me to open my mouth and verbally say I'm pregnant, it makes it real.
Yeah.
It makes it real. Renet'e. That makes it a real experience that happened to me. And now I got to deal with that experience of what I felt, what thoughts were created from how I feel. and that's hurtful. That's scary for a lot of people.
Scary.
It's scary for
Absolutely.
a lot of people. And I grew up in a house like that. What happens in here stays in here.
Yeah.
But what happens here stays in here teaches me that I can't trust people.
And it keeps you broken.
It will.
We got to own that. It will keep you broken, and it will go from that being your household as a child to you bringing that into now your home when you started making a family. And that's why I asked you a question, because it seems like people don't really pay attention. I don't want to. Sometimes they just don't get it, but I don't think we really actually pay attention that what goes on with our childhood really shapes and molds us as adults.
Oh no, it does. And what I used to tell people all the time is a broken child grows up to be a broken
adult. Absolutely.
All you did was just biologically.
You just got older.
You grew.
You just got older.
That's it. And your body, not your mental,
right?
But your body. And for a lot of people, depending on if they have experienced trauma, for most people, mentally they're stuck at the age that trauma occurred.
Right.
And so you have to think about that. And a lot of times, like I said again, when people tell you not to say things, it teaches you that I can't trust. It teaches you that my voice doesn't matter. It teaches you there's nobody who wants to hear what I have to say. So it's
not important.
All the exactly.
That is not important. It's not important. I dab into mentoring things as well. And you would always hear a person say, or a child say, like, I told them what happened to me and then nothing happened. Or that person definitely did what they did to me and they kept them around. So you diminishing what their experience was. So. And that breeds self-esteem issues, bunch of stuff.
Yeah. And then for some people, it makes them feel that whatever happened, that's okay that happened.
Right.
So then if it happens to me again, this is the norm. It becomes the norm.
Mm-hmm. Say that, Renet'e.
So it's a lot that takes place in our community. And we just have to, like you said, we have to be open, be willing to talk about it, address what's happening, be a support for somebody if you can. I'm real honest with people. If you're not that person who somebody can come to, that's okay.
Right.
That's okay. You still can be helpful. And the way that you're helpful is by saying, hey, well, let me get you to somebody who can.
Mm-hmm.
But you stick with them until they get to that person who can.
Gotcha.
That's still a help. You don't have to be the hero.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't.
Say that part.
You don't have to be.
Okay, yeah. Just because you can't be out just doing just stuff because it's somebody's life. Like that's how you need to take. You need to take this thing very personal. That is someone else's life that you are handling. So share with the people, what your background is, your credentials and things.
I'm an adjunct professor. As stated previously, I teach human services and entry psychology for Florida State College at Jacksonville. Duval.
All right.
Still in there. I've been doing that for the past 6 years. I'm a licensed professional counselor in the states of Georgia and Virginia. And then I'm a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. I'm a clinical supervisor as well. So I help people once they have completed their postgraduate degrees who want to become professional licensed persons. I supervise those hours. Mm-hmm. It's a 3-year run. So when somebody selects me to help them on that journey, we're stuck like glue.
I love it. I love it.
We push through. And that's a blessing to be able to give back in that way, to teach somebody else.
Love
so
this.
I do that as
love
well.
it.
And then I'm a certified anger management specialist. And that was important to me because in our community, people label us as what? We're the
aggressive
women.
We're aggressive.
Mm-hmm. The black men are
soon we got an opinion, child. We
scary.
Aggressive.
So I was like, I need to find out more about anger. Like,
I'm glad.
What is anger for real? Like,
yeah, I'm glad that you did that. I'm glad.
Because I needed that for myself.
Right.
And be clear on that. If you're out here and you see people who are therapists, keep in mind that we're human first.
Say that one.
We are human first, which means we're still elevating, we're still growing, we're still trying
give them
to be
grace.
Experts for real.
Yeah, give them grace. Give people grace.
And making adjustments and changes as we need. So I'm clear on, making sure that I'm best at what I say that I do by continuing to get that education, go to trainings, do seminars. But we are out here every day, honestly, looking to help people. Mm-hmm. And so the only way we know that you need the help is you got to tell us.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. You mentioned a few different states. are you working in those particular states for a reason, or did it just by happenstance? Like, oh, I
Those
did
are
this
those are the
class.
states that I've resided in. So
Oh, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
unfortunately for us, when you move, you got to get a license in the state that you reside in
Right.
to be able to
Okay,
work
that
with
makes sense.
the
Okay.
people who reside there. So I've lived in Florida, so I'm licensed in Florida. I've lived in Virginia,
What part of Virginia?
Virginia Beach.
And that's you, baby. Nova
Virginia
State.
Beach.
Nova State.
And so I got licensed there. And then, of course, now we're here.
Right.
And the reason that I even ended up in Virginia Beach is because my husband, he's retired now, but he was in the Navy.
In the Navy, yep.
And so that's how I got to Virginia Beach. Let me get licensed, and then we retired here. Let me get my license. Right now, I'm waiting to get that license in South Carolina, my home state where I'm from, because I know that is needed. And I tell people the truth. Even if you do think you know me, hear me clearly. Even if you do think you know me, don't let that be the reason you don't come get the help, though.
Come on and say that,
Renet'e.
Just was saying
I'm
that.
clear in what I am and who I am and what I do, and the people who I help. Again, I don't help people because I think we have a like story.
Right.
I want to help people with their own story.
Right.
And so sometimes people can't get the message because of the messenger.
Yeah. We know.
But people who truly know me know that this is me. You know what I mean?
This is real.
I'm witty. You know what I mean? I like to have fun. I like to joke. I like to laugh. But I also like to see people excel.
Right.
I like to see people happy, healed, healthy.
Healed. That's the one. That's the
back.
one. Healed. That is the one. Now, with the anger management, you should, how you got into that or whatever. I love that you can go back and say, this was happening to me, so I wanted to understand. And to me, this is just me. I feel that when a person can take something personal, they're more effective because they taking it personal. Like I've been you, so I really want to help you. So do you feel like that's the drive that you have when it comes to this field? Because you know what it was like to be broken, you know what it was like to be talked about and can't do nothing about it. You know what it's like to have the anger. Is that what drives you more to stay in this? Because it is needed.
This is not easy. And I tell people that some of the things that we hear as therapists are heart-wrenching. They're heartbreaking to even sit across from another adult who doesn't know who they are or how should I feel or what should I do or I'm crying every day. People, they don't understand what I'm going through and feel like they're just alone. That's a lot.
Right.
That's a lot to sit across from people who've been physically abused, verbally abused. You know what I'm saying? Ostracized by family. You know what I'm saying? That becomes a lot.
Absolutely.
And so, like I said, for me, it's all about the help because what I do know, and this is like old school cliche, Humpty Dumpty fell, but they did what?
They did what?
Okay, so it exists.
Right.
It exists. Right. I'm not going to say that it's easy, but it exists. You have to be a person who comes in saying, hey, I'm here to do the work.
Right.
And not for anybody else, but just for yourself. Because when you better yourself, you can better the people around you.
Yes, it's contagious. It creates environments. When you better yourself, you want everybody around you to feel that same energy that you have. So it becomes contagious, or rather, it should be contagious. It should be.
Amen. Spread that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So I was gonna ask you. I just want to go back a little bit. You decided. 20, I'm going to educate myself. I have these children. I got to feed these kids. I went through my little spell where I'm trying to work. I do want to go to school, but I couldn't because I'm trying to do all the different things. Was there a time where, when it came to the children that you had to deal with them having resentment?
You better know it. I think I said lamb. Like straight up. I don't, like I said, I might be too old. My kids might be like, Mom, shut up. But
she's trying to help somebody, children.
Yeah, but I think sometimes that I still am. Because they have to deal with it now. You know what I mean? All I can do is what I did. I acknowledge that I may not have been as emotionally present as I should have. You know what I mean? I may not have given it out as many hugs. I may not have said, I love you 15,000 times a day. I may have not, but what I was hoping is, like I said again, in my actions and making sure I help my kids and not put you in
the good environments.
Let somebody take you. Like we stuck it out, what I mean? Right. That they at some point realize and recognize there is nothing on this earth that would make me do anything to hurt my kids intentionally
Come on.
by any means.
Right.
And I'm a nice person. I like to help people, but I can turn into a beast when you get with my kids.
Don't poke the beast now.
And that's the truth. Because for me, they are the reason that I feel that this even exists. I made a change so that I can make something better for them, honestly. And so I don't lie to people. A lot of the times when I go through things like with my kids, I know that that's where it comes from. So I try to give them the grace to feel what they feel. Yeah. I can't tell you how you feel.
Right.
I can't tell you that you're wrong.
You didn't go through it.
For how you feel. Mm-hmm. I look back and I know how I felt sometimes feeling invisible. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And feeling unwanted a lot of the time. So I know what that feels like. I never presented to my kids I didn't want them. Like, we stuck it out. Like, we're going to do this.
We got this.
I know, like I said before, with working and then working 2 jobs sometimes, and then working a full-time job and running home. Hey, how y'all doing? You know, make sure you do schoolwork. And now I got to go to school at night. I know that there probably were conversations that I missed. Mm-hmm. I know that there were probably secrets that they probably wanted to tell me that I didn't get to hear. I know that there probably have been moments that they needed me to be there, and I wasn't. You know,
but they really wanted you
for sure. So I give them the space to feel. Mm-hmm. Now, what I'm not going to put up with though is disrespect.
So I was going to tap that. I was going to say, but what about the part where sometimes that line is there where they can kind of use it as manipulation? Like, you know, I want a certain thing that you're not doing, and try to remind you, like, well, yeah, because growing up you wasn't there. Do you understand? Do you go through that as well?
Oh, I've been through that most definitely. But the thing to it is, like I said, I've already owned up to it. I've already acknowledged it. I put it on the table, not you. Mm-hmm. I put it on the table. Mm-hmm. So for you to pick it up and then toss it back,
I ain't taking that thing.
I'm gonna swat that.
Excuse me. She like bopping and weaving. Point, for real. We Tyson in this. We ain't catching down to that.
Because at some point, I want you to be able to move forward.
Right.
You can't cling to that. You know what I mean? Like forever. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say this: even parents that I've worked with personally who unfortunately were strung out on drugs, didn't do anything right for the kids or whatever. There's still a piece of them that they love that kid.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so it's just sometimes you gotta take, like you said earlier, you gotta deal with the consequences from the actions that you've put out there. I'm just blessed.
Yeah.
That I'm an Aries, I'm a Ram, so I'm built tough.
Right.
I'm built tough, and I'm also blessed in the fact that I'm not ashamed to say, yeah, I have wronged my children, because I have. But the thing to it is, I've also acknowledged that I've done that. Like, I don't say, hey, yeah, I was missing and working, but I had to work so y'all could eat.
That just gave me chills, because I want to thank you for saying that, because people sometimes have conversations and where they've convinced themselves, like, I heard you, but they're ready to respond with. So that means you're not understanding where the other person's coming from. You know, you have to give people grace, the same grace that you would want. So, it becomes a thing where something has to give.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I took care of that situation. That was then. I'm not going to keep trying to take this thing that you could give me from my past. So it has to be a conscious decision to say, I won't allow people to have this thing hovered over me.
No.
I know why it happened. I wasn't happy with it either. It was a hard place.
Yeah.
But look where I am now. So give people grace and give yourself grace.
Give yourself, for sure.
Yeah, give yourself grace.
Yeah.
So I want to tap into, I'm a boy mom. My husband has his story. I have brothers, and I was the only granddaughter for like 20 years. So I've always been around males. I look like this, but I'm such a tomboy. Child, please. So I wanted to tap into how you feel, or you can share whatever you desire to share, connected to our Black men, the atmosphere, things that have transpired, the George Floyd thing, all these different things that are going on against our men. What do you say? You can just speak freely about the subject, but I want to know about our Black men and how you feel about where they are mentally. Where they're killing themselves.
Yeah, mentally.
It's a lot going on.
I know they're stressed. I know that there's possibly some anxiety. I know that there has to be some depression, especially in the days and times that we're in currently, and we're still experiencing those same things that men were experiencing back in like the 1960s. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, because you're intimidated by my weight, my height, and my look. Now I got to fear for my life. How unfair is that to say? Because you are naturally who you are. I got to fear for my life. You know what I mean? And then I have a son, and then I have 2 bonus sons, and so it's a scary thing. You know what I mean? I got a husband, I have brothers, cousins, all of that. You know what I mean? And it's a scary thing to think that they could simply just be walking to the store.
Yep. Or jogging.
Exactly.
They can't jog
in their own community.
They can't jog
or jogging
down the street where they pay the bills.
Or they can't come from the store going back to their dad's house.
Yeah, they can't go get a bag of Skittles.
You see what I'm saying? So that's a scary
different.
How do they really operate in that? And that's why it becomes important for their family, their wives, if they have wives, their girlfriends, whomever, to create environments of safety.
Say that word.
And understanding for them.
Please just, I want you to tap into the word safe place.
Safety, yeah.
Please tap into safety.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Let that man express his feelings. Let him feel comfortable in saying, hey, I am scared. I don't know what's happening out there. I don't know if somebody's going to try to attack me today simply while I'm trying to drive to work.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Let them know that it's okay for them to show that they do have feelings, that they are vulnerable. Don't be that person who can't be there for somebody when they're down and they're hurt and they're crying, and then you looking at them like they're weak.
Right.
No. The same way us as females, we don't. I know.
Come on, Renet'e.
I get tired of people talking about a black strong person.
Me
trying to be a strong black woman led me to crying at night.
Come on, Renet'e.
Me trying to be a strong black woman led me to not telling people most of the time, honestly, when I needed help. Me being a strong black woman, a lot of the times led to me being isolated in how I felt, what I thought, and I couldn't move forward.
Come on.
If I show somebody that I'm not this strong black woman, then who am I?
Right.
Then who am I? That does not feel good. That's not healthy. It's not helpful. Like, that will make you have to come see me.
Straight
up. Like, straight up. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say I don't feel like myself today. It's okay to say, hey, I do feel down today. I do feel lonely today. That's okay. Create safe environments so people can share with you. Because what I will share with you guys, when I first started out in this field, and you can research it, Caucasian people, rates of suicide high. Black people, not so much. Currently,
come on, Renet'e.
Suicide
statistics
for black people has shot up.
Absolutely.
Literally. So we have to create safe environments where people can be vulnerable, where people can share their feelings, where people can talk about how they feel. No, today wasn't a good day. Well, how can I help you?
Right.
Versus, shit, my day was bad too.
Come on in here with that one right there. Like, stop trying to one up me. Okay? Let me have my little moment. I had a bad day. Oh, you did? Okay. Because now it's now on you. Because now I'm trying to figure out if you okay when I was really trying to vent. But you want to one up me, telling me that yours was worse. Like, wait, what we doing right now?
Create safe environments where people feel comfortable
environments.
Saying, I feel like killing myself. Create safe environments where people can say that, so that we can get them help that they need, so that they cannot feel that way.
Right.
Or they can start to work on whatever is making them feel that way, and then have those thoughts. We got to create safe environments.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that. I had a thought that came to my mind about a childhood friend of mine who killed himself. And, honestly, I'm going to be transparent. I didn't know how to feel. I was mad. I was hurt. I was confused. People were saying how it happened. And I'm like, well, why didn't it? I'm like, if he said it one time, why didn't they get him help then? And then I had to understand I wasn't there. It was hard. Yeah. It was very, very hard. But my first thought was, he didn't have an outlet. He didn't have a safe place. Because everybody he's talking to is reminding him, yeah, you don't have a job. Yeah, you are a felon. Yeah, you this. Yeah, you can't take care of your. The reason why your baby mama mad because you can't do it. Where was his outlet? Where was his safe place? So thank you so much for sharing that. I want to kind of tap into you do relationship, you do couples as
I
well.
do. I have fun with couples.
You do
Oh,
help us
yeah.
out, child. No, I'm kidding. I love my husband. I
Yeah,
love my husband.
and I have fun with them. I was horrible in relationships. Go ahead.
So let me ask you this, because it's always a thing. I had someone come on here. She was a minister, and she said something that it seemed very simple, but it said so much to me. I'm newly married. She said, "Oh, I know what it was. I did a 30-day marriage challenge, actually, with the book you had in your office, Top Michael.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome. First of all, I love him, love him, love him, love him. I love a good word, but the book." It really did bless us. And my husband admitted, we were like doing lives and stuff. My husband admitted, he's like, I really wasn't winning in the beginning. I wasn't. He was like, but then I was like, let's see what's what. He's like, and then I started like, okay. Oh, snap. Oh, word. Oh, we gonna do this together? Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, I didn't realize. He was like, so I'm thankful, that my wife took out there to do this. Now, summing it up, had this young lady on, and she says, we're gonna do the book as well. And I said the disappointing part for me was people were contacting me because I did it on social media. I'm like, if you guys want to do it, we could do it together, and feed it. I had so many responses of, child, I don't know how we gonna make it because I don't know. 20 years in, 25 years in. I'm like, whoa, time out. You can't work this thing out 25 years in? What is going on? Then I get another one, newly married. Oh, I'm gonna try to do it. He probably not gonna do it. It was all negative, and it startled me. I honestly didn't expect that. I guess I'm newly married, so I'm thinking everybody like, "Hey, we married, let's go." And child, good night. They were like, "Child, I don't know. I want to be bothered." I said, "What kind of mess is this?" So I said, "Well, okay, we'll do the challenge so we can feed off each other." Child, bye. They didn't want to do that. So I said, "I want to understand because I'm new at this. If you want to grow, if you want to stay married, or if you want to work at it, why are you not going into spaces where other people have the same stuff as you going on?" But I had to remember, back in the day, or how we were raised, what goes on in my house stays in this house. If I tell somebody else, they're gonna know, oh my God, this situation might not be as bad as mine. So now you're just not gonna get the help. How does that work? So how do you deal with the couples? Like, what goes on? Because I'm telling you, I was disappointed, but it also made me more prayerful because I'm like, you know what, God, you honor marriage and these people need help. They're tired, but no one's doing anything. So where does it stop? So what goes on?
Oh my God, so many things. Um,
That was a lot. I'm sorry.
no,
You
but
probably don't even know where to
it's
begin.
on point. No, I do.
Yeah.
Because it's on point. But communication. Let me talk about myself first. Okay. As a person who didn't have experience in like being married,
Mhm.
and then you utilize what you see,
Right.
the people again who are around you, possibly some of what you see on TV, and it's like, okay, that doesn't look so bad.
Yeah,
But
true.
what they don't show you though is you got to learn how to compromise with these people.
The facts.
You got to learn how to communicate in a way that they understand what you're saying. You have to be patient because it's two individuals coming together trying to figure out how to do this thing as a team.
As a team.
You got to be creative sometimes, right? You got to be a person who knows how to utilize that conflict resolution. A lot of people think conflict is bad or it's harmful. Conflict sometimes is how you get to learn that person because
That's a fact.
You get to see how they problem solve. You get to see really how they think. You get to see where they come from, where they're coming from, and their points sometimes in perspectives in that conflict. And so I was that person because, and this is the crowd that I normally typically speak to who was single for so long. So I am the alpha. I make all the decisions. I don't have to ask anybody anything.
Right.
I don't have to compromise. I do what I want. But when you
Come on, Renet'e.
married,
come on, Renet'e, because you described me, honey.
You gotta start doing some things a little bit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing to it is for a lot of people,
it's not for the weak.
Maybe that thing is not. And then for a lot of people, if you're not a person truly who has really genuinely like felt love, experienced what love is, sometimes when you get love, it looks awkward and it's foreign. And so a lot of things that my husband, before he became my husband, was doing initially, I was defensive. So I'm like, wait, I'm
like,
work, I'm safe, I've been handling business, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? And it was like simple stuff. You know what I mean? Like he noticed one time, I think I didn't have tissue or either I was down to my last roll. I can't remember when he came over to my place. and he bought some tissue. That pissed me off.
She's like, I can buy my own tissue.
Like, you can't tell me I would have went and bought that. You know what I mean?
Really, fool?
But again,
yeah, the
learning.
upbringing.
Yeah,
yeah. Come on and help somebody, Renet'e.
And I was that strong black woman.
Yeah, come on.
I do it all. I pay the bills. I pay the cost to be the boss.
Come on.
So I didn't even know that was love.
Right. Come on
love.
and help somebody.
I didn't know that. I didn't know how to compromise. I did not know how to compromise. I had to learn how to compromise. I had to learn that the things that he would say to me were not to destroy my character. It really was to build it up.
Right.
But I took it in the adverse because number one, I am that. Who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you got me.
I got this. I've been had this before you.
You're gonna have the first word, but I'm gonna have the first word anyway. You know what I mean? So it became. It was more important for real. It was more important for me to get that word than to get the word.
Say that.
Okay. And so I had to learn how to retrain my own brain to even be able to function in a relationship. So
and receive.
And be able to
receive.
Honestly, to receive. And so there are lessons that you have to learn when you're about to take that journey, like for real. And in that communication, you want it to be effective and you want it to be clear what you're saying. You want it to be understood, of course.
Right.
And so sometimes something just as simple, and everybody, y'all can try this tonight, okay? When you're talking with somebody, and if you really truly don't feel that they understand what you're saying, or if you just want to get clarity on what you've said to make sure that they understand, it won't hurt you to simply say, hey, can you tell me what did you hear me say? Sometimes it can be just that simple, and it opens up a conversation.
Absolutely. It'll clear up some things. Or things will come to the surface where you're like, oh, you got that from that? No, that's not what I meant.
Exactly.
I meant this. And then they're like, oh, because I was feeling some type of way.
Now we're communicating, right?
Now we're communicating.
And
we can go to bed.
And that's what it is. And
really,
be assertive in what you want. Like, tell your partner, like, what it is that you need from them. I had to learn that. What are you talking about? You need something. Like, you getting what you know what I'm saying? What you need. Like, I'm the best out here.
That's been my phrase to my women's ministry. I'm like, say what you mean, mean what you say. Yeah. Say what you mean what you say. You want to ask God for some stuff? Say what you mean what you say. Be clear. Yeah. You want somebody to help you with something? Be clear. They are not mind readers. Yeah. Be clear. Wow.
And I'm honest with people. You know what I mean? And I know I don't say it enough to my husband, but I was rough around the edges out of these streets, like for real. Like for real. And there was a lot of patience that he had. There was a lot of wanting to understand me. Yeah. And there was a lot of, okay, now I wanting to understand you. Now I can feel safe. Now I can share some stuff. Okay. Like that felt good. That was a relief for real. It was a relief. And this is not even monetary crap. Cause like I said, I was working, I got money. I'm good on that. But I'm talking about the up here.
Right.
Now I know I'm not the only one who got to watch my front, back, and my side.
Say that.
You know what I mean? Now I know when something happens, it's us. Because I used to be initially, I still was I.
Come on, Renet'e, help somebody, child. Help somebody who feel like they done did it all and they do it all and they don't need nobody and I'm this and I'm that and you can't you come in my life. If you come in my life, you're gonna diminish that and I ain't got time for that and I'm strong. But child, you losing.
No, it enhanced.
You are losing, beloved.
It enhanced.
You are losing.
All the things that I was doing, like for real. Because on those days, and if you're out here in this business world, in these streets, like how we are for real, it's true. There's going to be days when you don't have the motivation. Right. Like you don't. Right. But it's also going to be those days when you got that person that's saying, hey, we still need to do these things though, and put that discipline in place. Like you need that person who is okay with being in the background while you in the forefront. Right. They're not really in the background because all the things that they shared with you were still here. So they still up front. And so you have to be okay with that. I give him all kudos for not being fearful at the fact that, hey, I own a private practice. I'm going to be working long hours. I'm going to be doing this now because now we're in a new state. I got to build back up clientele. This is what it's going to look like. Okay, just let me know like what your schedule going to be. Because you still got to find that balance. So we still got to kick it and hang out and do
That's
stuff.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Change the career and do other things that seem great, but don't forget about the spouse who was there when you had the stuff going on.
Yeah. And I've done that. I forgot about him too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm out here, I'm getting it.
Doing
Oh,
what you love.
oh, girl, you got a whole husband.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Yes.
Because it happens, but you balance.
And suddenly, it's not you don't even mean for these things to happen,
No.
but it can happen suddenly. You're excited, you're doing you're making the money,
Yeah.
you know you're helping people, and then you be like, "Oh, I ain't seen him in a whole week." Time out. Uh-oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Let me go.
Yeah.
Let me see, check my schedule again and tell some of these clients I gotta change that date.
See what I'm saying? Pulling up at home, open your suitcase, and
Yeah.
So
Hello.
And what happens with a lot of my couples who come in, for most of them, honestly, this is what they call this our last ditch effort.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
this is it, or it's a wrap.
If this don't work,
this don't work. Yeah, that's a lie. If this don't work,
it's gonna let me know we can't work. And this is what I tell them every time. This won't work without y'all both showing up.
Well,
for each other.
Be clear.
It's not going to work just because you came here to me.
Right.
Oh, no, ma'am, no, sir.
Mm-hmm.
It's only going to work if you two showed up here for each other. Because one or two things going to happen when you show up here for couples counseling. You're going to work it out and work on it and continue to work, or you're not.
Right.
Be clear on that. You know what I mean? There's no magic potion to make this work. You guys got to come in here, be open, be honest, be willing to work towards a common goal.
Right.
And that's period.
Right.
So if it's communication, learn how each other communicate. If it's words that you don't understand, but give me your definition of that, because I'm thinking our definition may not be the same. It
may not be the same.
A lot of the times people come in here and they have the same exact challenges with each other. They're just speaking it differently, so it sounds different, but it's the same thing.
Same thing, boo. Same thing.
It's the same thing. And I tell them, slow yourself down enough to really be active in your listening, to hear what is being said.
That right there is significant, what she said. Because what happens is you will say something, and I missed the whole point because I only heard one thing you said. You said a bunch, but one thing you said triggered something up in here, and now I'm appalled, and I'm this, and you like, that's what you got from that?
I've been there and done.
You gotta heal that thing. You have to heal, and therapy is not gonna be a one day a week. You know, it takes commitment, and you got to be dedicated to this thing because it's work. It's work. It's something that, first of all, is going to affect not just you and your partner, but those around you as well. So this is not small potatoes. This is not light work. Nope. You know, you have to put the work in. I know for me, you know, I'll talk to couples because before I was married, you know, I'm in church, and God would always give me prophetic words for married people. And child, I don't have 2 kids out of wedlock. So it would hurt, but I would be confused. And I would tell myself, like, dang, I received it from me, child. I ain't married. And my pastor would like, be obedient. Period. Because God need to trust you with what he gave you. Say what he said. And I'm like, so God said, you know what I'm saying? I'm like trembling everything. And then people will contact me or they'll tell me something to confirm what God said. And I'm like, see, now he'd beat me up if I wasn't obedient. But then I had to think, I was like, but why he keep talking to me about marriage stuff when I ain't married? My pastor's like, because maybe you have a desire to be married. And I'm like, oh, snap. Do I? I never really thought about it. And I'm like, I do have a desire to be a good person. So I know I have a desire to be a good wife. So you have to work at that thing. Yeah. I had to understand, like you said, you are alpha woman. I got my degrees. I'm helping people. I got my own office. What you got?
Yeah, none of that matters.
None of that matters, beloved. None of that matters. You good. Kudos. Good job. But you can't keep reminding this man of that. Yeah. He ain't got time for that. Especially when he's trying to respect you. And he's allowing you to do you and not try to take over and say, well, I'm the man, I'm supposed to be this. You can't be doing that to him, child. You're going to lose that good sucker. And somebody else going to be right there waiting. Yeah. You got to put the work in, and it's not going to be overnight. No. So thank you for saying that. And the young lady that's going to be doing a challenge, what she said was that couples should need to understand you learn from each other. And the issue that you have, okay, like I don't know your husband's name, but like using me and my husband. Yeah. The issues going on is not a Kareem and Renet'e thing. It's a man and a woman thing. Period. There's certain things, she's an example saying like, as soon as her husband come in, she want to talk, but he done had a long day at work. Yeah. So now she looking at him like, you got an attitude, and he just like, I just want to That little thing right there can make the difference of you having an argument or wanting to break up all this stuff because you're not even paying attention to your partner. You're not asking questions. You're not communicating. You're not doing these things. So now you, in Renate's office, like, this ain't it. We done.
That's it. And I'm like, this shouldn't be the deciding factor
No,
by any
look at that
means.
thing. You have to work. This is, girl. This is so good. This is so good. I was gonna ask you something else. So now, okay, so you're a professor, and how did that whole thing come about? Like, yeah, how did that whole thing come
Oh,
about?
yeah. I'm unorthodox. I think you guys can see that.
Yeah,
With my hair pinned up, glasses, and my outfit.
not outfit.
Yeah, so I'm so unorthodox. And what happened was, I've always wanted to teach college, and I've always wanted to teach because when my grandfather was alive, he would always say, "Hey, what do you do? Like, you should be a teacher." He just always would say, "You should be a teacher.
Words have power."
Teacher." And
Pop, pop.
and I wasn't sure if that was just because in his times maybe there weren't black women who were teachers,
Okay.
and so he just wanted to project that. I don't know, but he just always kept saying, "You should be a teacher," and I was like, maybe one day. And I was just, maybe one day.
Aww.
And so what happened is that I started researching it, like different ways to like monetize off my degree.
All right now.
Because
did you hear what she said?
I don't know about y'all, but I know, I pay student loans and stuff. And so I needed to monetize. I needed to monetize this degree.
Don't you dare say that word. No.
And get money several ways.
Right.
From this piece of paper.
Right.
And so I started doing the research. Like, what does it take, like, to teach? What level?
She researched.
Yeah. What level can I teach at? What courses can I teach? And so instantly I saw, oh, okay, I can teach psychology. Okay.
It's my subject, child.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is cool. And so what I did, I saw one of my colleagues when I lived in Florida. I was a supervisor of child safety, and he was a supervisor for the child protective investigators.
Okay.
And so we were, hear me guys clearly. If you're not on LinkedIn and all you do is play on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter,
you're missing out.
Get it together. Tighten up a little bit. Okay?
I gotta tighten up myself. So she's definitely talking to me.
So I'm on LinkedIn. I'm religious on that LinkedIn. And so I saw under his name that like he was teaching at Florida State College Jacksonville.
Like, hold on now.
Okay, so I'm quick on the inbox. Like, I see that you teach over there.
I'm quick on the inbox.
How did you do that? Like, I'm trying to do that as well.
Right.
And so he was like, well, I'm in adult education. He was like, you probably would want to be, again, in like a psychology or
see
something
that?
Like that. And
people were like, seeing it in you.
I was like, so then who do I need to reach out to? Oh, he was like, I got you. I'll shoot you your name and your stuff. And he did. And the young lady,
she asked the questions, people.
Yeah, who do I reach out to? I'll do the work.
Right.
Just point me. I'll do the work. But he sent the lady my information. She actually honestly reached back out to me. That Black network, y'all.
All right.
She reached back out to me. She was like, well, I don't work in that department, but this is the dean's name.
See that? I don't do this, but here's someone who does. Y'all gotta stop when somebody reach out to you, just automatically like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to help them. If you're not equipped, send them to somebody who is.
And that's what she did.
Nobody got time to be playing, y'all. I just want to say that.
Girl, and that's what she did for me. And once she gave me the name, that was it. I reached out to him.
Hey, boom.
My name is Renet'e Washington. Have a master's in professional counseling. I see that I'm capable to teach psychology.
I sure am.
I told him how I could turn me being a therapist and teaching in group and put that into a classroom setting. How do I apply? Are there openings?
Now, I want you to understand what she just did. She basically said, y'all kind of need me. Okay. I feel y'all need me. So let me hook you up with what I got going on so you can actually hire me. And that's what that meant. Yeah. That meant I got some goods that you need. You just didn't know. Yeah. But now you know. So what's up?
And I did the work for him. You don't
I love it.
Yes, at what it is. Hey, this is what I think I can teach based on my degree and the courses that I've taken. So I'm gonna do the work for you.
I love this.
And I got a response.
She made her own way.
I got a response, and he was like, well, I need your curriculum vitae. I didn't have one at the time, but guess what? A homegirl from where I'm from in Sumter, South Carolina, she was already a professor, right?
The divine connections.
Her name is Tanya Moore. I'm gonna shout out. She runs a whole college now here in Atlanta. Okay.
Look.
Okay.
Come on in here.
Queen business. Okay. And
love it.
I reached out to her. I said, hey, I see that you're a professor and I want to apply. I don't know how to present my curriculum vitae.
Come on, Renet'e.
I sent her what I had She looked it over. I said, hey, like, what do I owe you for helping me?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
She said, just be great.
She said, nothing. Literally nothing. Here you go.
See that?
I sent my
See
curriculum
that?
vitae back. I think that was June. Yeah, June of 2015. I sent my curriculum vitae back. I sent my transcripts. Everything that he asked me for, I sent it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I got a phone call in July 2015. Hey, we got one class opening. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. Can you be here today? Coming.
Sure.
And I was a supervisor at another job. Hey, I can't come in today. And I went to my interview.
She went to the interview.
Right.
Hello.
He called me back. It was August of 2015. Will you accept this class? Yes, sir. I said, when do I start? He said, tomorrow. Where's my book? I said, where's my book? And I need a syllabus.
Well,
so
she was like, put me in the game, coach.
and I backdoored it. Real talk. I backdoored it. I went through the back door.
Love
because what I found out quickly about being an adjunct is they'll always have openings and say that they're hiring for adjuncts, but then you're going to sit in a pool.
Got you.
What I learned quickly.
She said, I got too much going on to be in a pool, boo.
Yeah, because this is what I even tell my clients.
Love it.
Honest. I listen to what you say, but I do also listen for what you're not saying.
Well.
So what I figured out quickly by going through that back door is the dean is who knows what classes they need to cover before the college probably ever knows. Okay. And I'm like, okay.
Like, this what y'all doing.
Yeah, and I went through the back door. And that's how I started. I started out with one class in August of 2015 teaching human development in the psychology department, one class, right? And I did that for about 6 months, I think 6.5 months, something like that. And then the next thing I knew, and I didn't even notice initially, but I got my homegirl out there. Like, she's a beast. Dr. Tiffany Wells. She had also gotten in. I was at the South Campus. She was downtown. I was like, oh, we about to run it.
Y'all about to say about today, like, oh, it's going down.
Oh, yeah.
I love this.
A beautiful thing.
Love it.
And she hit me up and she was like, hey, they got some openings over here in human services. I said, word? Oh, I'm coming. and that's what it was.
And that's what it was.
And she and I met in Jacksonville, Florida. Oh my God, we've been friends for years now, for real. And I can say true friend, like, for real.
Love it.
And that's what you do out here in these streets. You help
That's
each other.
That's what you do. You help each other
to get into these rooms and these doors.
Stop the crabs in the barrel.
Yes, the
Stop.
other people help each other.
You better say it.
Okay?
You better
and so
say
we
it.
both started teaching at the same college at the same time.
I love this.
I love this. Have a clue. But it's been a beautiful thing. And so then I switched over into the human services.
Mm-hmm.
Part-time, but I was full-time, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Explain to people what exactly human services is. I'm sorry, because some of the terms you're saying, I know what you're talking about, but I'm realizing.
Okay,
yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
I think pretty much most people know psychology, right? Mm-hmm. So it's an umbrella of social behavioral sciences. Honestly, so it's psychology, there's social work, there's human services, there's sociology, all of those things. So human services, for layman's terms, would be maybe the next closest thing to being a social worker.
Right.
So it allows you to work in several settings. It allows you to do what I do as a mental health counselor. You can segue into social work if you want. You can work in a school setting, criminal justice setting, hospital setting, nonprofit agencies. Right. You can be like in 500 Fortune companies.
All right.
As a human services professional. Because what we work with are the same things: emotions, behavior, family dynamics, child welfare. So all of them are, like, to me, under the same umbrella. They just come with different titles. Just like me as a therapist. In Florida, I'm an LMHC. In Georgia, I'm an LPC. But it's the same career.
Explain to them what the acronyms are.
Yeah. Well, licensed mental health counselor is what it's called in Florida, for a licensed professional person. And then a licensed professional counselor is what they call it here.
Gotcha.
In Georgia. Okay. So I live, breathe, love human services. Not human resources.
Right.
Human services.
I love that. I was about to ask a question that just made me laugh so hard. I was going to ask you something. Oh my gosh, it definitely just flew out my brain. I'm so glad you came on. I'm just so glad. I'm so glad you came on. If you had to advise someone, who going through a tough time, and now they're trying to transition, maybe taking a new job in another state. They're basically trying to find their way. Don't really have a support system. It's just maybe them and their child. They're taking this job, and this is what it's going to be. What knowing what you know now from your your background and everything. What would you say to that person? And would it be a thing of not just because you're a therapist, but seek help so you can stay mentally strong for this particular thing, because it's hard to move around.
No, it is
It
transition.
really, I don't think people get that part because you see the
Yeah.
glitz and glam of it, like, oh, I moved to such and such, I got a house. Some of them don't be telling you about that either. But
Yeah.
I live here now, and they be struggling because they didn't heal. They
Yeah.
didn't deal with the issues in the other state. So they just thinking like it's gonna be a new thing and I'm gonna be good. But if you didn't heal, you're bringing that along with you. So what would you say, to people who are trying to figure things out?
Yeah, in that type of a transition, and it's cliche again,
Mhm.
but you can change environments, but you gotta still work on you.
Gotta deal with those
And
things.
so I would say, when you know that you're about to make that transition, or you're seeking to make those transitions, make a plan.
Yeah.
It's like anything else we do in life. Rarely do I do anything without having some type of plan, and it doesn't have to be like a 50-page plan. It can be a 1 page with 5 steps on it, but just make a plan of the things that you know you need to do so that you can start on your journey. So when you do go to that new environment, you created something that's new.
Right.
Something to look forward to, something that's going to be beneficial to you. Make that move meaningful.
Right.
Be intentional with what you do.
Yes,
Yeah.
love that. Love
Because
that.
I left, when I left from South Carolina, it was myself still, single mom with 3 kids. I moved from South Carolina and I moved to Jacksonville, Florida. I had no family in Jacksonville, Florida. I had no friends in Jacksonville, Florida. But what I did have was a new purpose, a new sense of self. I had self actualization. I knew
Love that.
I knew that my going there wasn't because I was running from anything.
Come on in here.
I was going there and I was going to plant something that was new. And I knew that it was going to be watered. I knew it was going to grow, and I knew that it was going to prosper. Like, I knew that because I made the changes that I knew I needed to make in order for that to be successful. And I know that my kids probably didn't appreciate it because they told me, because, like I said, we uprooted.
Right.
And I went somewhere where we had no support, no family, no anything. But I promise you, if you're out there and you're doing it, the kindness of your heart, you're doing it with pure intentions, you are out there and you are grinding for real, staying focused, getting done what you need to do, it will come to you.
Say that.
Hear me clearly. I still have the same connections of people in Jacksonville that I had when I moved there. And you already heard me speak about one. That's Dr. Tiffany Wells. I got my homegirl still out there. Her name is Kiana. She has the Dear Black Girl community. Like, I'm still tight with them. Like, it's not fake. You know what I mean? My beautician turned my friend, Keela, you know what I mean? Still had connections to her as well. I have so many people, and it's not that I can't remember their names. I don't want to name everybody because then y'all going to be like, "Which is this?" But I have a whole community of people who I met there who understood it.
Come on.
And they wanted to see me. They wanted to see me do well. My ex coworker, I used to be her supervisor, Brandy Crawley. Like, she was my friend, but she worked for me. But she went above and beyond because she wanted me to shine.
Come on
in
here, Renet'e.
I made connections. Dr. Tiffany Wells, same thing, went above and beyond because she wanted me to shine. She wanted them to see, hey, she's the only Black supervisor here, but she's out here. She's peaceful. We're working it as a team, and we're good. Like, I had good, solid support. I had people who, and my friend Keela and my friend Ann in Jacksonville, like, we would go out to Red Lobster and all of those cheese biscuits, and we'd be sitting there laughing, and next thing you know, we crying over biscuits. You see what I'm saying? Like, the sister circle.
Come on,
I
had
solid people who wanted to see me thrive and do well. And when you have that, you don't have to get that from family. Trust me.
In here.
And I know that my family supported me. I know they also wanted me to do well, but this was something that I knew I needed to do for myself. I needed to prove to myself that I am who I say I am, but that doesn't mean I have to do it alone.
Right.
You know what I mean? I still have my friends from South Carolina as well. We lived in different states, but we still check in on each other and say, hey, what's happening? What's going on? We still visited with each other. So I had extended support from people who wanted me to be successful and to be healthy. And so I make no qualms about it. If it's not healthy, I'm not with it.
Say
if
that
it's a
one.
Weak link, I'm not with it.
Come on in here. Come
But
on
if
and
you
help
come to
somebody,
me and you
Renate.
say, hey, I got an issue and I'm trying to work through it and solve it, that's not weak. That's strong. So I can get with that all day.
Come on, Renate.
Literally. And my friend Dr. Wells is who first started that, like, for real. There are no weak links on our team. And the reason that it doesn't exist is because we're going to help each other. You don't fall short because we're too strong together.
Say that.
I'm not afraid to stand
throw
among
my
people
shoe
who are better than me. I'm not afraid to speak life into my friends because some of them have gone above and beyond where I am.
Right.
But the thing that they always do, they're going to look back though.
Right.
Ooh, we're going to pull each other.
I love that.
And we're going to make sure that it works. And so
nobody left behind.
Transition, for real, in that transition, don't feel alone. Still keep the connections that you have that are healthy, but be open, be willing to make new connections.
Yeah.
Please be open to making new connections. Like,
love it.
It works. And we still out here working it.
Like, yeah.
For real. Like, even with Diamond.
I was about to bring it up. That's why I was like, oh, God,
even
crazy.
With Diamond. She speaks of me in rooms that I'm not even there because I don't even live in New York. I don't be in Long Island.
Come on. She tagged you with no problem. But this is what I love, God. I don't know if you watched the episode where I interviewed her. I didn't even share it actually on our interview. But when I posted the post, I'm not on Facebook like that as much. So I started going through to see the names and everything. So I'm writing names down, tagging to see what's what. I didn't even realize it was Diamond that tagged you. I just was like, thank you. Just thank you to the people who tagged them. And I'm writing down the names of who was tagged. So I had no idea that I was going to meet Diamond weeks after that through Six Figure Spot Chick.
Yeah, Candy.
Tell me that ain't God.
Yeah.
I said, wait, you tagged me? And she's like, yeah, because the name said her real name. Yeah. So she told, when I met her, she's saying her name is Diamond.
Yeah.
So I said, yo, this is nuts. So we're like die laugh. I said, yo, I didn't even realize. She's like, oh, she said, your personality, y'all gonna be good.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, because I want somebody real. She's like, oh, she definitely gonna keep it real.
Oh,
I was like, definitely. But look at do you see how that happened?
Yeah.
She's speaking her name in rooms that she's not even in, states for that much, that she's not even in. So your environment will breed that kind of energy if you're also bringing that energy to the table.
Definitely.
That's what she's basically saying. Her crew, they tight. Everybody doing their thing. And no one's going to be left behind. And that's what we have to start doing more in our community. So thank you so much for sharing that. That was so, so vital. Like, I got chills behind that. But, wow. Girl, that was good. That was absolutely good. So what do you see? What are your next goals? Or what's your next big thing that you're like, I'm finessing with this. I'm helping people. I'm in my glory. I'm married. I'm doing my thing. My kids are good. Everything's good. But I want to do, what is it?
Yeah, it's so many things, but gotta be tunnel vision. The one thing that I have been able to do even during this pandemic, honestly, stay 10 toes down, because that's a blessing.
That's a fact.
That's a blessing.
Amen.
And I don't knock anybody, but I did that without having to take out loans or anything.
Come on.
That was just my clients, keep sending me clients, and then we rolling. So through the pandemic, I've been able to grow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love this.
It's real talk. I've been able to grow.
Yeah.
And so I started out when I first moved here. We've been here now, I think, going on 3 years. And I just had one office, like what we're sitting in. All
this is beautiful, guys.
Office, right?
I'm sorry. This is not doing it no justice. I promise you, it's beautiful in here.
Yeah, and I've
congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I've been nose down in plotting, planning, saving, always planning and saving. And I was able to grow, and now I'm in my own suite, like by myself. You know what I mean?
Love it.
Like how I already knew I was going to be, because you see the vision, you speak that vision out loud, and then you work towards it.
Oh, you're listening.
Work towards it.
Yes.
And so now I'm in here. I'm blessed. I got my conference room, my waiting area. Have 2 offices. Have my office. And now I'm looking to grow. So I want people to come in. I want them to come in to work, to help people. I want them to be like-minded people, not like me. let's be clear, but like-minded.
Explain the difference, please. Explain the difference in that, because that's so vital.
Yeah, I don't want people to come in and then try to be like me. I want them to be comfortable in being their genuine, authentic self, but I do want them to be like-minded in the way of wanting to help people and be genuine and giving out that help and being honest with people who they're helping, and then coming in and adding value.
Yes,
come in and add value. I don't know it all. I don't profess to know it all. So if you can come in and you can bring something that's different, that's going to help the masses, then I'm here to support it.
Yeah.
I'm here to support it, and then we're going to rock it out in here. So I'm super excited to be in this new space, to be able to share it with other people. I have to say, thank you, honestly, like to my husband, to my daughter Deja. My daughter Deja decorated my whole space. I could have never done that. Like, literally, her eye for decor and color is phenomenal. That's why she picks out all my clothes.
So you and Diamond had that in common. She said she needs you to see this place, girl. She's like, my daughter had to say, Mom, I got it. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah,
love it.
My daughter did that. My husband came over, made sure like he switched out like different locks on doors that I wanted. We were able to find somebody to come in. We put new carpet in, new floors, put up a whole wall.
Love it.
It's been phenomenal for me. And then even like with my middle daughter, we bump heads. She knows it. Love you. But, even with her, just saying, Mommy, I already knew this was going to exist. Like super proud.
I love
super
that.
Proud of you. Keep pushing forward. Like even with my son, he was like, Mommy, like you got this.
Go ahead, children.
Like, no matter what, like
Mom be needing that. I know Mom is tough, but she needs to hear from you that you're proud of her.
Yeah, and so
that's lovely.
The thing is, what is the legacy?
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
What is the legacy? I got grandkids out in these streets, so I got to make sure that they understand that you can work for yourself, you can be successful, you can help other people, you can hire people, and then you can be successful. That's important.
You could be a teen mom
for sure
and do everything you desire to do.
You see what I'm saying?
Hello.
That's important to
That's
me.
the one.
My husband just started his trucking business, so that's important to
Love
me.
it. Trucking is what it is too, y'all.
And all the kids are like happy. They're supportive. One of my bonus sons, he does graphics and stuff, so he did the graphics for my husband's truck. It looks phenomenal.
I love it.
We try to make everything we do like teamwork.
Everybody has their gifts,
so everybody contributes something.
Love that.
And he even took like my pictures and stuff for me, because he's into all of that.
Right.
And then twins. So one of the twins is like the coordinator, and the other one is like the photographer.
With the graphics.
It works, and I love it. You know what I mean? My bonus daughter, she graduated from FAMU. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So she's also in the same
school.
field. She's also in the same field. So everybody is like you said, is doing what they need to do and moving forward. So it just pushes us,
yes,
to do more, because I never saw myself being here, and I don't front to anybody. I know it's not me. I never proclaim it to be me. I know definitely that it is God.
Yeah.
I'm not the holiest person out in these streets, but what I do know from the life that I live at certain points,
it gotta be Him.
It's God.
It gotta be Him.
It's God.
That's my line. It's God.
Who, pray for you that you don't know. That they pray for you.
Yes.
It's people who speak life into you that you don't know is speaking life into you.
Absolutely.
It's people who do want to see you do well, even if they don't say it to you.
From afar.
Yeah.
They admire, they inspire.
Every way I can get it.
Yes, Renet'e.
Every way I can get it, and I
love
share
it.
that with people. You know what I mean? My word this year is abundance.
Love
I
it.
want to get a lot, but I want to give more. And that's the word for this year for me. And so that's what this is a part of that.
I love this.
Yeah.
I'm so glad she came on, y'all. Like, it went a whole other place than I thought it was. Oh my gosh, I'm full. I'm so daggone full. All right, one last question. Explain to people, how important it is, when going forward, to make sure everybody around you is solid, because you can get hindered. People can hurt you because you trusted them, they were consistent, and all of a sudden they're just not. Maybe because you got another level higher than them, and they don't want you to be higher than them. So how important is it, to stay connected to those who have poured into you, who have, supported you, who have put your names in rooms that you've never been in? Like, explain that. And then I'm going to try to let you go, because I'll
Yeah,
be here all
but
day.
that's what I'm also working on my social realm, like to call people more, to just send random cards, like thinking about you today.
Oh, I love that.
Get back old school, start writing letters to people, throw them
I know
on
that's
card,
right.
you know what I'm saying? And to stay connected. Like when my friends reach out to me and they say, "Hey, I'm having this event or that event. Can you come? Can you speak?" If I'm available, then I'm there.
She's there.
You know what I mean?
Love it.
I tell them the truth, but you gonna buy me something to eat now. I like to eat, so you gonna buy me something to eat.
I love this.
And so keeping those connections, and then again, like you said before, not being too busy.
Right.
And I was honest today when I put my post up. I'm like, okay, I've been hibernating. I'm back at work now. But it's because I was grinding for this.
Say that. Say
trying to
that.
get this together. And now that that's done, I can rest now. You know what I mean? To a certain extent. And so get back to making those phone calls, sending those random text messages, things of that nature. I go home frequently to keep those connections.
Love it.
And that's really honestly like what I do. Like, you know, I send my friends text messages. We talk on Facebook. I just try to be helpful as much as I can without overdoing it, if that makes sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense because, like I said, sometimes you'll get excited and everything's going well, and then you start piling things on it, and you know, now you're drained.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're tired and exhausted, you can't be effective. You're just doing stuff now. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be effective. This is somebody's life. Somebody's coming to your door like, listen, this is it for us. This is it or this is it. And you like, oh, here we go. You got to be focused.
Exactly.
You ain't got time to be like, what do you say? And what you say, you're wrong. And you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You got to be alert. You got to be in tune. So that's important. I hope that helps somebody out getting proper rest. They need to normalize getting rest. Okay? Resting is so important. Like, be very clear. They need to normalize getting proper rest. It helps you to think straight. It helps you to move the way you're supposed to move. Yeah. Get the rest you need. Don't keep piling stuff on your schedule. We get it. You Superwoman. We get it. We get it. We believe you. But no, you're actually not. Okay? Superwoman is not real. Yes.
I need my 8.
Yes. Listen, get that 8 in or 4 or 5, whatever it is. You got little babies. We know some of y'all can't get that much sleep. But get it in. That's the goal, to actually get it in, to not be drained where you can't function. Now you can't tinkerous, and then you definitely are the aggressive Black woman. You don't need none of that. Just get the rest you need so you can think straight and you can be effective in the things you are doing. I'm so glad that you came on.
No, I mean, honestly,
shout out to Diamond, man.
Asked me to, like, for real.
Shout out to Diamond. And how did you meet Diamond?
Listen, I met her at an event. Because Candace, you guys, know her as the 6 Figure Spa chick. She had the
Candace Holyfield, yes,
the grand opening for her space.
Okay. For, here.
Yeah, for all the beauty things in Atlanta. And Diamond had came down to go to that event. And so I'm gonna be clear with y'all. I'm not the kind of person who's trying to meet everybody in the room because I don't have the time. And time is money. But I am that person who wants to make genuine, meaningful connections. And when you're having conversations, sometimes you can pick up on it quickly that this person is somebody who you want to keep close to you. And she just really was that person.
She's so syrupy sweet.
And we connected on like several levels, you know what I mean? We're around the same age, our kids are around the same age, like we both had some of the same type of situations that we've been involved in. We're both out here working, grinding it out, trying to make things happen. My middle daughter and I was there. Her name is Danae. She's a couture aesthetics.
That's pretty.
Yeah, she's a couture
What's that?
aesthetics. I'll show you. And so my daughter and I were there together. She started telling us.
Is that for the body?
No, it's body oil though. But she started telling us about her and her daughter, and I'm like, get out of here! Like, this is my kid,
right?
And so we just kind of bonded from there for real.
Love that.
And you can make those kind of connections when you're not in the room just trying to speak to everybody.
Say that.
My kid. And so that's
she's gorgeous.
That's how she took place. Oh, those are her little models.
These are her mom. Okay. That's her.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's oil.
Yeah,
she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So body oil. Mm-hmm. Okay, so she was there for the spa thing because
yes,
girl. Mm-hmm. Listen, let me tell you something. Talking about being in rooms, I didn't know the spa industry was like that serious. It is absolutely booming. Yeah. I said, oh, how can I get involved? I promise you,
But
I
that's
said that.
smart. But that's smart.
I know it is. I don't play about my cash. I said, what? I came in this room for something. What? I ain't no way I'm leaving empty-handed.
Yeah,
And that's how you
Candace
do
has
it.
created
Candace
such a
is so
great
dope.
like community,
So dope. So dope.
in connecting people and making sure that people are in those rooms,
Mm-hmm.
which is major. Again, so you have to recognize when you are around those type of people because it becomes meaningful.
Yes.
And you don't. To me, you don't always have to always like talk to the big dog, but watch how they move.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you can learn from how people just move.
Listen,
if you're watching correctly.
Yes, you can learn from watching the leader.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you how the sheep are.
Yeah.
Or those, that she's leading is.
Yeah.
Listen,
she brought me in that
she
room.
about her business.
You know what I mean? She brought me into that room.
That's so awesome.
As a therapist, you see what I'm saying? And letting them know, hey, y'all do need that.
Yes.
You do need to work on your
love
mindset.
it.
You do need to deal with those feelings that keep you from being good in business because you got to
Absolutely.
first be good for yourself.
Right.
So that's major. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Kudos, Candace.
Yeah, shout out to Yes Holyfield.
So that's major, but that's how I met Diamond, and we've been tight like glue since.
Just dope. I promise you, just all around, just a sweetheart. I mean, don't get mad at me for calling you sweet. I know you're supposed to be from New York and you tough and all that, but you're a sweetheart. Sorry, and this because of you being who you are, having no problem not being intimidated. You have no problem tagging somebody saying this person does that, I don't, and that's what I was saying earlier. You ain't got to know how to do everything.
No.
If it's somebody you're connected to who does, let that person get what they need from that person. You don't gotta compete with your friends. You don't gotta do none of that. When everybody's winning, it's just good.
Yes.
Period. Y'all better get on LinkedIn too. She just convicted me because they was sending me stuff, and I'm like, oh, you gotta get on LinkedIn. I ain't did it yet. So there's my homework for the night.
Yeah.
From the therapist, okay?
Yeah. For real. Like, I get on the other social media
from the therapist,
but I'm more on that LinkedIn.
Right. I need to tap into that because you're not the first one who said that to me. Because they was like kind of shocked, like you're like a social butterfly. You're not on LinkedIn. I said that's so funny. I said they've been emailing me for some years now too. They like you better get with it. I said, oh okay. But let me be transparent. It kind of made me a little nervous. I was like, okay, what's going to happen? And that's what happens sometimes. You get scared.
Yeah, but you do. But that's okay. I think having fear sometimes.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I think having it sometimes is a good thing. I think
what, the fear?
A little bit of fear because it's going to make you think more about what it is.
Very true.
It may make you double check what your plans are.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's not always bad. Like even some stress is not bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to know how to manage it.
How to manage it. Absolutely. Yeah. You better say that, Renette. Renate, girl, I could be sitting here with you for hours, child, because I love, this is my field. I have a heart for this field. So I just want to thank you so much for being transparent, for sharing your story, sharing how we need to operate as environments, and, we just need to do better for ourselves and the people that are around us, because we are who we have. If we really understood that we are who we have, we would do better. Or we should want to do better.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for that. I wanted to ask you a question earlier. I'm trying to wrap it up. It ain't working, y'all. I'm trying. I promise you. I'm letting her go. Do you think in our community, a lot of us are either not diagnosed or diagnosed and shouldn't be diagnosed?
That's a good one. And
I know there's a word for it. I said it wrong.
No, it's okay.
There is a word for that.
That comes up all the time. I think, unfortunately, what has happened in our Black community, a lot of people have been overly diagnosed incorrectly. Because some...
Wait, what is overly diagnosed? I just caught that.
ADHD.
Okay.
That ADHD.
Okay.
That sometimes looks like trauma. Because if I'm a kid who is walking home through neighborhoods that are unsafe, and I'm seeing violence, a lot of violence, or I'm seeing people who are utilizing drugs, I'm going home, and because my parents are stressed out, they don't know how to communicate, so now I'm seeing even that as well. So when I come to school, maybe I'm
jittery. Come on in here,
but it's not the fight or flight going on with me. It's not that I'm a bad kid. It may not even be that I'm an ADHD kid. It may be trauma that I'm experiencing. So I can't focus because I heard a loud noise. I don't know. That reminded me of...
I hear gunshots every night.
You see what I'm saying? So
hello.
I think overly...
My dad smacked my mama and I heard it.
Diagnosed.
So I'll be like this. Every time I hear a slap or somebody slam a door.
Yeah.
You better say that.
Yeah.
Whoa. That was different. That was deep. I'm sorry, continue, Chad. That just
Yeah.
gave me chills because
So,
my son is autistic. So that gave me chills.
so that's what I think a lot of the
Wow.
times. That's why I make sure that I cover all aspects of what's going on. And it's simple, but it's true. Live, laugh, and love.
Yeah.
I'm looking at all these symptoms that you're presenting. Do they hinder how you live? Do they hinder your ability to be able to love? Does it hinder your ability to be able to laugh? How are you really being affected by what's going on? And I do that on purpose because I want to make sure I get a thorough understanding
Yeah.
of what's going on. And that's another reason that this exists for me in private practice, because I have the autonomy to do that. I'm not pressured
Right.
by quote unquote any system to come
Right.
up with that diagnosis within that 24-hour window.
Child, you better say
and I
that
just met this
in
person.
24 hours.
You know what I
You
mean?
got to
So
talk to these people. You got
yeah,
to see what's going on. The more you talk to people, more things will start to come out. And then you're able to come up with an assessment and say, oh,
yeah,
okay, well, do you know he went through this?
yeah.
Hello? Do
And
you know
so
this
yeah,
happened to him?
yeah,
Do you know since such and such passed away, which was his only friend, nobody's told them about it? Everybody's like, okay, it happened, peace. Do you know
yeah,
what kind of trauma he may be going through up there? Now he's
yeah,
quiet.
for
He's
real.
standoffish. He's isolated. Now he don't take a shower. He don't wash up. He failing now. He was an A student. Now something happened.
Yeah, and then
Come on in here,
it's been
Renate.
different. You know what I mean? So I've been blessed to work in a lot of different settings,
Mm-hmm.
to see a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And so for myself, I wasn't comfortable sometimes with coming up with those diagnoses that quickly, even though we do have time frames and you're able to go back to, of course, correct and adjust. But do people really do that? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Do they have the time to do that?
Right.
If you got a caseload of 30, 40 people,
Come on,
like
Renate.
what makes sense for real.
Yeah.
And so working for me in the different settings, I just learned a lot of different things. But what was most important for me is I learned exactly what I didn't want to do and how I didn't want to be.
Got you.
And I wanted to be able to fully and freely help my clients.
Right. I love this. Oh my gosh. I love this. I'm trying to let you go. It's not working. It's absolutely just not working. All right. So now I'm going to ask this last question. No, I got one more after this. I promise. Just one more after this. When you see stuff happening, with our kids, like I said, in our community now, we're seeing social media is just crazy, and our kids are killing themselves and stuff of that nature. But when you see stuff like, my question to you: do you think certain things are environmental? Like we see in certain areas, the school shootings and how they're handled, and it's usually they don't really look like us. Do you think it's something that is just environmental, where anger in certain cultures is kind of pushed along? And I'm asking you this also because I was watching an Emmett Till movie, and I'm looking at the men who murdered him, and other things started to come out, and it ended up coming out that this man was basically saying, like, I'm tired of seeing them, like they can just come here and they can't. And as far as I'm concerned, this is what will happen. And I'm like, why are you so mad, beloved? Why are you so mad? So do you think it's in like an environmental thing when you see like the teens shooting up the kids, like stuff like that? Like, and it's not us, but we can be dealing with racism and still show up to class and do what we're supposed to do. Or by the time we actually do get angry, it's looking at us like, see?
Exactly.
When we tired. Do you think that's like just environmental? What is
Yeah,
that?
I think a lot of that is instilled because you got to think about it. When you look at little kids playing, they don't really know color.
Right.
They just know this is my friend. I like
Right.
having fun with them. We're playing. We get along. We like the same things, and it's simple.
Right.
It becomes complicated because people make it so. And then now my ideals and how I feel and my morals and my values are what I'm implanting into this person. And if it's something that's been like generational and deep rooted, then what happens for a lot of people is that we become the blame for things that we, number one, had no control over, and number two, we don't know you to cause any issues for you.
Right.
We don't know you.
Yeah.
And so I think it's definitely learned behavior. It's ingrained, unfortunately. And so some of it comes from parents, some of it does not. Honestly, like you said, social media. Social media. You can be raised by caring, loving, supportive parents, but then when you start interacting and exploring now I'm hanging with different people, and now they're influencing my thought processes.
Yeah.
So it's a double edged sword, I think, sometimes, because I have met those parents working in the different settings who are awesome.
Right.
They're awesome. Didn't even raise a kid to be that way. However,
the school they're in,
at some point, that kid has to become accountable and responsible for their thoughts, their choices, and those decisions.
Okay.
Literally.
All right. I got one more question after this question. I promise. So coming back to our communities, and I just want you to just give one thought about it, because this is a whole other subject. I'm probably gonna have to do like a panel or something on this.
You need a panel?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Now, me asking that question in reference to environmental, and me bringing up the Emmett Till thing, and basically what you said, being, embedded in whatever. Do you think, or do you foresee, in our community, first of all, it's connected to us being united and being divided, the subject of colorism. It's annoying for me to watch on social media because my mama was brown, my grandmother was dark, my daddy yellow. This is how I look. I can't control it.
Yeah.
So with all that goes on in our community, we got to pick something like that to be divided. So do you think social media kind of feeds into keeping us divided with like stuff like that? Because I'm never going to try to diminish anybody's experience.
Yeah.
Like I said, my mama brown, or sister brown. My mother went through the whole paper bag thing growing up, so she kind of had a complex, and then I went through the opposite. So I almost, well, thank you God for catching. I almost poured that what I went through into my son, who was fair skinned. Making him know like, yo, because you got to be tough, because you light, they're gonna try you.
Yeah.
And God said, stop. You will not do that. And I'm looking like, why though? Like, he's gonna have to be tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's like, just because you went through that, he may not. So don't even put that in his thinking that way. Now, if he hasn't experienced, then you can have a conversation with him about it. But don't have him looking for it, like it's gonna happen, or have him looking at somebody else that's darker than him, like they're gonna come for him. Yeah. You don't have the right to do that. So, do you think that's something that we would ever kind of get past, or is it just a thing of it's environmental and this is what society is now showing? Because it's hurtful.
Very much so.
It's hurtful. Well, I'm like, I love all my sisters. Like, you shouldn't be looking at me cockeyed like, oh, she got that job because she like, no, but well, I went to school. Okay, I got 15 years experience, beloved. What are you talking about? You don't have that criteria. You don't have what I have. It has nothing to do with how I look. So, do you think that's also a thing that's environmental? And do you think we can like actually get past like maybe with therapy and having these conversations? Like, what do you think about that?
I do agree that social media is a great influence. What they also do is they highlight.
Yeah. It's really bad.
Mostly the negative if you pay attention to it. And so anything that's going to draw a bunch of people to it, they're going to promote that the most. And anything that's controversial, people are going to eat that up. That's why the shade room is out here existing. The shade room is booming. And they're booming because
they love that stuff. Yeah.
Controversy. They report bullying, and then they put a little disclaimer: we don't support bullying, but your whole post is about the bullying. So
right.
Help me understand, because
can't do both, boo.
You are the bully.
Can't have both. Can't have both.
And so social media, they do that because people flock to that. People are interested in that. And that's the unfortunate piece. And it's not to say that people are unintelligent by any means, but I notice a lot of people can only think what social media tells them to think.
It's so true. It's bizarre.
When did we stop making our own decisions?
I don't know. I feel like I'm a zombie. I feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone. I'm like, child, you are 40-something years old and you acting crazy because of what? What is going on here? Yeah. Something else is going on. Yeah. That's how I look at it. I'm like, something else got to be going on. Like, you got to calm down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, child, you got that from where? What?
Yeah, like you said, and I agree. All of our sisters are beautiful.
Yes.
And I think it's what are y'all doing? That we come in so many different shades and body shapes and personalities. I think that's amazing.
We're amazing.
I don't want
we are amazing
cutter per se.
You know what I mean? Right. We are amazing. Period.
My energy can connect with yours and it matches. cool
Cool.
beans. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Cool.
But I don't know if we would ever get past that because we're here
It's so
now
deep rooted.
and people still doing
Yeah,
it.
they still doing it.
Still doing it.
It's a lot. Yeah, they are still doing it. It's bugged.
Yeah, and what's crazy to me was when that whole era of bleaching skin, like that whole phase.
Mm-hmm.
You're bleaching your skin like to do what?
Child, you can't pay me. That is different. That is definitely
To do
different.
what? You know, and like you said, my nuclear immediate, like my older daughter, she's dark skinned.
Mm-hmm.
As you saw, my middle daughter, she's
Mm-hmm.
more
She's brown. Mm-hmm.
she's more lighter than my older daughter
Mhm.
for sure. But at the same time, judge people spiritually.
Right.
Judge them off their character.
Absolutely.
Judge them off how they treat you, how
Absolutely.
they make you feel, because that really at the end of the day
The facts.
is what
I'm
matters.
telling you, that's a fact. That's a fact. Because people are people for sure.
Yeah, maybe that comes with more maturation. I don't know. Maybe, you know, in my span of the 45 years, I've elevated a little. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I've gone from the outward shallow to more what's happening.
What's happening? What's going on the inside?
How do I feel when I connect with you?
Absolutely.
How do I feel when I walk away from you?
Absolutely.
That's what I care about.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to work on that. The inside, okay? We got to work on that. Recognizing energy, you know, because you can feel when somebody ain't right. It ain't got nothing to do with them on the outside, child. You know, work on that, you know, accepting situations for what they are, accepting people's energy and, you know, how they make you feel. And that's about it. Like, that's what we need to really, really, really be doing. I'm so glad you came on.
Thank you. I'm glad
you
that you
so
had me.
much.
These are the conversations that
so
people
much.
need to have. Like,
Yes,
this is what's up.
absolutely.
You got to make people out here buy a microphone.
I'm telling you, get that microphone to start that podcast. Child, it's another bag. Listen, that's another bag. You see, Diamond started one.
Oh yeah, she did.
Rounding the table. That's what it's called. Yes, you did. You better get up on it, honey. You better get up on it. But yes, listen, Professor.
You want me to say it?
Yes.
Renet'e.
Professor Renee Washington, honey, in the building. One last thing. Okay, this is it for real. Just tell the people they can find you.
Oh, guys, I am.
I ain't got no more questions.
On Instagram, Facebook, Refined Beginnings. My website is refinedbeginningscounseling.com. You can definitely find me there. Physically in Kennesaw, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in what they call the downtown district. Didn't know, but now I know.
Oh shoot! Now I know.
Yeah,
I'm like, I was in the downtown district this weekend for my birthday.
I didn't know that. But, yeah. Not from here either, so you know.
Who knew?
But yeah, so like link up with me. Like I said, I'm the same person that you heard today, that you see now in here, outside of here. This is me, you know. Literally, this is me. And I'm approachable.
Mm-hmm.
I can respond to certain things, but ethically there are going to be some things that I can't, you know, like respond to, because this is not therapy. Right. You know, and I definitely can't do therapy through a text or a DM. Right. And even if you are in a different state and you're seeking help with finding a therapist, let me know. You know, there's therapy for Black girls. That's a platform out there. It lists tons of qualified Black therapists. Wow. Yeah. There's clinicians of color. Another ton of people who look like us out there. There's the Black psychologist group as well. Yes. They all look how we look. All right. You know what I'm saying? So we're out here. We are wanting to help you guys. We are willing to help. I'm willing to help in any way that I can, even if I'm not your person. Therapy is a relationship. If I'm not your person, that's fine. It's not going to stop me from helping you to find that other person. Right. It doesn't hurt me at all. You know what I'm saying? I believe in energy, and that's important. So yeah, so that's how you can find me. Instagram, Facebook. Love it. My website. Yeah. Amen. I love it. Google me, guys. Google her, guys. And definitely look into all those groups that she just announced, because a few of the names I didn't know about. So I'm going to be writing them down and definitely connecting. Okay, last question in real life. I do tell the truth, okay? I'm not lying about asking questions. It's just coming to me, okay? Yeah. Just want to throw that out there. Yeah. But no, seriously, do you think that we could still use more of us in psychology and Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Honestly, I really, 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 really do. There's a
Okay.
lot of us, but we can always use more.
Yeah,
Like
because I
literally.
honestly had a hard time even looking at Black Long Island. Some of the ones I found, like they fell off, or they were trying to pass me to other people and it wasn't working. I was like, well, where are people at? Because the others was calling.
Exactly.
They was calling, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be funny, but yeah, I want someone black for my son. Can I have a black male for my son? I was
Yeah, we
trying to be very
definitely need more
specific.
males, and there
Yes,
are some
there
good
aren't really
males.
ones, and
I'm
I'm
throwing
like,
out all this
oh
fluff, but there
man.
are some good males.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can look on the clinicians of color.
Clinicians of color,
Yeah,
guys.
there
Okay.
are males on there.
Okay. We need it. We need them. We need
There's a guy
them.
that I follow. He's in VA as well. But there's a guy that I follow, and his he's on Instagram,
Hmm.
and it's called Men to Heal.
Men to heal. Wait, do I follow that page? Why does that sound familiar? What's his name?
He has a podcast, everything.
What's his name?
I don't know his real name.
Men to
Yeah,
heal.
when I see black men
Wait,
in
men
therapy,
to heal. This sounds very familiar. And I know I was in contact with somebody
James
who
Harris, black therapist, male therapist.
black therapist. James Harris, black therapist. Okay, I'm gonna follow him. And
Yeah.
he's a vet.
And he has a whole
Okay, men
community
to
of other
heal.
black male therapists
I love
and
this. I
psychologists,
love the name.
psychiatrists.
Actually, can you text me that screenshot?
Mhm.
I'll be done forgot when we hang up off
Yeah.
this thing, child. Oh my gosh. All right. So next you might see Renate with her own podcast. I'm just speaking that. That's all I'm gonna say. I just spoke that. That's all I'm gonna
Okay.
say. That's all I'm gonna say. Because we're gonna help each other do this thing. I promise you. This is not by happenstance. And I'm just so grateful. Once again, big shout out to Diamond, for being a plug, big shout out to Black Long Island, for being a platform where, we do have a space to celebrate each other, to connect with people who look like us in these different fields. Because I'm going to have someone come on speaking about, Black women, how we're treated in reference to fertility.
Oh yeah, that's gonna
Yeah,
be
because
phenomenal.
I went through something, they was if my husband was there, wasn't there, they was going to let me die.
Yeah, that's gonna be
And how we're
phenomenal.
handled. So, let's stay connected in that realm. Educating yourself. Like I said, this platform, God gave me the three. God gave me she's three E's, which is to encourage, empower, and to educate. And that's what this platform is for. So even if you know anyone that you think would be a good fit for this platform, please, sir, please, ma'am, email me at hotmicwladyshe@gmail.com, or you can hit me on Instagram or Facebook, hotmic. Instagram, I just changed it to Hot Mic Lady She underscore podcast. And on Facebook is Hot Mic with Lady She podcast, because we are trying to grow. We are trying to heal. Amen. We are trying to be more united because we're so amazing. We're
Yeah.
so amazing. And if you encounter people like Miss Washington, it'll remind you that if people trying to tell you no about something, you could just go around and find your own way
That's
and do
it.
your own thing and do it your way and it be effective. So, please, sir, please, ma'am, send me those names or whoever you feel will be a great fit for this platform. I am very approachable. If it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. And it's all good.
Still good.
I promise you it's all good. Do not take it personal. I promise you, it is all good. But we're here to heal, we're here to grow, we're here to be better. We got to start from the inside. So I thank you so much for being transparent. I thank you so much for your gifting, because it is a gift. That's what Grandpa kept saying it. You got to be some type of teacher to be in therapy. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Heck yeah.
You have to have some type of gifting. So he saw it early on. So shout out to the grandpas, what they love. And shout out to the parents, period, that's raising us up to be these strong women. And one of the things I just want to close with, you don't have to be the strong Black woman. Don't die in that thing. Amen. Do not
Amen.
die in that. Do not die in trying to be the strong Black woman. You can be soft. You can be resilient. You can be educated. You can do all these different things. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to make yourself seen. You can just have a presence in a room.
That's it.
You heard? You ain't got to be all that.
Mm-mm.
You ain't got to go crazy about this stuff. God will put you in these spaces. Hello.
Yeah.
Didn't know her. Didn't even know the person who tagged her. Now I'm thinking about it. Didn't know neither one of them. But because of character, consistency, credentials, and these things, this platform just happened. So I'm hoping, I hope and I pray that someone reaches out to her and understand that, I do need a change. I was a teen mom. and I'm trying to do things differently. And maybe the people around me are the naysayers and reminding me of mistakes I made, but I know I have something to offer the world. She can probably push you along.
Definitely.
Period. Because that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be helping each other, pushing each other along. You heard her announce names. She's shouting out people who pushed her along and who did not, who looked back. I love that you said that.
Yeah.
Going forward, but looking back, like, hold on, where my girl at? Where my girls at? Okay. Because we all winners. That's the kind of energy we have to have, guys. And it can happen. You just have to do the work. Same thing with relationships. You got to do the work. Therapy is not going to happen overnight.
No.
It's not a crystal ball. It's not. You're going to have to put the work in. But you want to have somebody who's transparent and who can remind you, listen, you're going to have to do this work. And I can't do it for you. Okay?
True words.
And pay them, please. Amen.
True words.
Pay the people. Pay the people for their services, okay?
Yeah.
Please, sir. Please, ma'am. But once again, Professor Renee Washington, thank you so much for coming on Hot Mic with Lady She podcast. I'm probably going to have you come on again, honey, because I could have went a whole other couple of directions, but I was trying to keep it condensed. My husband was laughing. He was like, you are not getting out of there in no hour. He said, as soon as God starts speaking, y'all going to go in. I said, I'm going to try. He like, there's no point in trying. He said, there's no point. Do what you've been doing. I said, okay. So that's what this is. That's what this is. I'm so glad that it's the transparency for me, child. Please make sure you email her, Refined Beginnings LLC.
Yeah, that's
right?
my website, Refined Beginnings Counseling LLC.
Counseling.
My
Got it.
email is refinedbeginnings@gmail.com.
Right.
Or you can call me. Like, the answering service is 24/7.
We love it.
678-653-8676.
Love it, love it, love it. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Now it's time for me to turn up for my birthday because it really is my birthday. Hey, yes, I am doing a podcast on my birthday because that's how important this subject was to me. So that's the other thing. I'm trying to get off, child. Do not create excuses for yourself.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. Stop. Because then you're going to be offended and mad when you see people with less experience or less gall or less creativity than you shaking out, getting in those rooms.
Yeah.
And you like, I belong in that room. Well, why you ain't doing that in there? Because you want to be celebrating your birthday? Child, your birthday going to come every year. Stop playing out here. Stop playing.
Guys.
Yes. Stick to first of all, have the vision. Make the plan and stick to the plan. Yes, there's going to be a road where there's going to be potholes. And maybe there's going to be a water break thing going to happen. You got to go through that. You got to take this way. But continue on. Continue on. Because you have something that someone else needs. If she had said, I'm a child, I don't have a baby, the whole town's mad at me, my mama feeling some type of way, let me just have this daggone baby and I guess I'm going to just work at Walmart. Not knocking nobody to work at Walmart. Be clear. Not knocking anybody that works at Walmart. But you understand what I'm saying. If she just sat in her frailties and her so-called mistakes, she wouldn't be blessing people. She wouldn't be helping to free people. Amen. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So that's what I want you to understand. Your gifting is connected to somebody else. If you saw my interview with Diamond, this girl went through some things, okay, that could have cut her life off. But then she wouldn't have a spot when people can come and sometimes cry because that's their only outlet. This thing bigger than you, beloved. This thing bigger than you, boo. Get it together. I'm shutting up for real this time. Please email, inbox, DM, send a kite. She about to start writing letters. Write her a letter. Whatever you got to do to get connected. To get connected to Professor Renet'e Washington. And we are saying good night. Thank you.